The day started like any other, or so I thought. The sun filtered through the curtains, casting golden patterns on the floor. Life had its routine, its predictable rhythm. Eleanor and I had always been in sync. At least that's what I believed. We had faced storms together, navigated financial hardships, and comforted each other through personal losses. But sometimes, even the strongest of bonds fray in ways you never see coming. It wasn't one big fight that led to the unraveling. No slammed doors, no raised voices. Our disagreements had always been handled with quiet conversations and calm negotiations. We prided ourselves on that. But that day something changed. Eleanor came home from the store, grocery bags in hand. Her face flushed with frustration. "I nearly threw my back out," she snapped, tossing the bags onto the counter. I blinked, caught off guard. "Ellie, take it easy." I moved to embrace her to diffuse the tension, but she stepped away, her eyes brimming with unspoken emotions. "Why do I always have to do everything?" she demanded. "Can't you, for once, just step up without me having to ask?" And then, before I could even process her words, she was gone. The door. Just like that. Days passed. Then weeks. My calls went unanswered. My texts were ignored. By the third week I stopped trying. If she needed space, I'd give it to her. But deep down I knew this wasn't just about groceries. A month later, her best friend, Evelyn, showed up at my door. I had never been fond of her, and her smug little smile didn't help. "Henry," she greeted, her tone laced with false warmth. I folded my arms. "Did Eleanor send you?" She smirked and, without a word, crossed the room. Then, to my utter shock, she leaned in and kissed me. Her hand slid down toward my waist before I shoved her away. "What the hell are you doing?" I demanded. "You're such an idiot," she spat. "I was trying to help you, but clearly you're too blind to see it." Then she dropped the bombshell. Eleanor had been hiding out at her place. Not just to get space, but because she didn't know how to face me after what she'd done. She had been searching for something, anything, to feel alive again. And apparently she found it, on a dating site. "She's ashamed," Evelyn said with a smirk. "But hey, if you cheated too, maybe it evens the playing field. Fresh start and all that." I stared at her, stunned. The audacity. The cruelty. "Get out," I said, my voice cold. She shrugged, sauntering to the door. But her words lingered long after she was gone. Eleanor had betrayed me. Everything we built shattered. And yet, beneath the anger, something gnawed at me. Question I couldn't shake. Why did she really leave? The divorce was quick, clean. No messy battles, no drawn-out confrontations. She made a few half-hearted attempts to reach out, but I ignored them. I had no desire to open that door again. The only complication. Car. She refused to return it, dragging things out until I finally had to threaten legal action. Only then did she hand over the keys, resentfully, reluctantly. It wasn't the ending I had imagined. But then again, life rarely goes according to plan. I spent months trying to understand where things had gone wrong. Nights felt colder, the house emptier. I retraced our steps, revisited memories that once brought warmth but now stung with a bitter edge. Love doesn't simply disappear, does it? It fades, erodes, leaving behind echoes of laughter and shadows of what once was. One evening, as I was sifting through old photos, a knock at the door broke my solitude. It was Eleanor. She looked different. Tired, worn. "Can we talk?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. I hesitated but stepped aside, allowing her in. We sat in silence for a moment, the weight of unspoken words thick in the air. Then she spoke, unraveling the tangled mess of her emotions, her fears, regrets, and the aching loneliness she hadn't known how to express. For the first time, I saw her not as the woman who had left, but as someone who was lost, just like me. And perhaps, just perhaps, that was the start of something new.